Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Engineers Field here at Johnson Memorial Park for a JHS Media Special 8th grade night for Ferry Middle School baseball. Today we'll be playing the Hendricken Middle School Hawks of Warwick, Rhode Island. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Matt Clements, alongside my partner, Anthony Vendetti, getting ready for what should be a good one. Jaguars on the brink of the playoffs. Hawks have clinched their spot. We just saw the 8th graders for the Ferry Jaguars get honored with their families. Such a good moment to see all that success pay off. And what do you want to see out of these Jaguars today and Mike Iafredi's team?
They're going up against a really good, talented team of Bishop Hendricken, their 8th grade squad. It's going to be definitely a tough game, tough task, especially in 8th grade night, but they already got some fire with that ceremony. So they got Jordan Dickel on the mound, one of their star players. So let's see if he can go out and have a good outing and get the bats going.
Yeah, Jordan Dickel, the standout on this team on the offensive and defensive side, basketball star, really good baseball player too, and looks to go to the high school next year and keep it up. Your starting lineups today, first for Ferry at second base, Michael Iafredi. Your shortstop, Mikey DeAngelis. Your pitcher, Jordan Dickel. Your center fielder, Ryder Calabro. Left fielder, Gavin Pulowski. Catcher, Jake Srower. Third baseman, Mason Aruda. Right fielder, Luciano Mangiacapra. And your first baseman is Emmanuel Herrera. For Bishop Hendricken, center fielder, Seamus McConnell. Shortstop, Kevin Ventura III. Third baseman, Eli Kopaski. The first baseman batting fourth is Drew Zablacki. Left fielder is Kyle Rakinski. Second baseman is Liam Suave. The right fielder, Dylan Pierce. Pitching for the Hawks is Enzo Gianfrancisco. And catching for him, batting last, is Kevin Gonzalez. Those are the starting lineups for both teams. Looks like they're both in their pregame huddles. I'm assuming they're awaiting an umpire. But before that, very excited for this game and good 7-inning battle. We don't want to see a blowout on either side. We want to see some good baseball, hustle. Kind of that's what middle school baseball is about, right, Ant?
Yeah, you're definitely right. We had our past experiences playing with middle school baseball, just going out and having some fun, especially on 8th grade night. You want to get that extra, get that win, especially for the 8th graders that are playing their final home game. Ferry going on the break for the playoffs. Hendricken already clinched a spot. So Hendricken's trying to spoil the ceremony here tonight, but Ferry, see if they have something else to say and see if they can get an upset win.
Yeah, I believe Ferry does have one more game after this is their last home game. That's why it is 8th grade night. And you talk about the atmosphere of middle school baseball versus high school baseball, and I like to say it's a trailer to what you're going to see at the high school level. And at high school, you look at high school ball players playing for their school versus when they play AAU. And AAU is definitely a more individualistic game. You're playing for yourself. But when you play the high school baseball, we see it with we're bunting, slashing, stealing, hit and run. All that small ball stuff really makes what high school baseball stand out. And we see a little bit that at the middle school level. It's maybe a little more raw baseball. They play less games. They have less practice, less field time, and they kind of get the short end of the stick. But it's definitely the best way to get that team community aspect in, especially a town like Johnston versus maybe Bishop Hendricken. You got kids from all over the place. Johnston, these kids have been playing together for a while, and it sometimes shows.
Yeah, it shows the team chemistry you have. You've been playing with them for a very long time, and then like you mentioned, Hendricken from all over the place, but Johnston, you get that team chemistry, so you'll see if they have the upper hand today.
Yeah, as Dickel warms up on the mound, again, his catcher will be Ryder Calabro, the 8th grade battery. You get an 8th grade middle infield between Mikey Iafredi and Mikey DeAngelis, and on the corners you got Mason Aruda and Emmanuel Herrera. You got a center fielder, left fielder, and right fielder, full 8th grade outfield with Pulowski, Calabro, and Mangiacapra. But we're awaiting some very good baseball today between a powerhouse, not only the middle school level but the high school level with Bishop Hendricken. They only have the 8th grade program versus De La Salle, who has 6th through 8th. But if you plan on sending your kid to Bishop Hendricken, you usually send them to this 8th grade program, and they definitely show their way of baseball. So I'm assuming we're still waiting an umpire, but definitely got a good crowd here to my left of Johnston families, teachers, parents, community members, some of our, high school JV players who will be playing at 6:30 after this. But Schreiber just threw it down. Umpire is here, and we are ready to go. First pitch coming in a second. Ant, you ready?
I'm ready, ready for some good baseball. See 8th grade night, like we mentioned, a decent amount of times. See if Ferry can get the win in front of their home crowd. Like you said, you got a decent crowd, a lot of balloons, posters up. Let's see if they get a dub on 8th grade night against a tough Hendricken team.
Coach Iafridi's talking to Bishop Hendricken's head coach about the field dimensions and all that, and Johnson's definitely a weirder ballpark. When it comes to that right field fence, only about 280, and as a lefty, I know you've taken advantage of that in your career so far. You got a short left center to the pole, and left's about 320. To left center might be 305, 310. Center field gets deep, and that right that right center field triangle is where that position at center field gets tough. So Calabro's gonna have to do a good job out there today covering that, and you've had that experience. What are you gonna say about that? Dimensions.
It is definitely weird dimensions, in the ballpark. But when you get used to playing here, you start to get used to it. But as a visitor, it's definitely tough.
For sure. But we're ready to go here at Engineers Field. The first pitch from Dicklow. Up and in, ball one. Leadoff hitter for Bishop Hendricken is Seamus McConnell. He'll also be playing center field today. Second pitch from Dicklow, swung on and miss, 1-1 count. The 1-1 to the plate. Fouled off, 1-2. Dicklow gets ahead early.
Well, that's definitely what to do when you're on the mound. You want to get ahead early, especially against a good team like this, because now you have a bunch of options, especially on 1-2. You can either go back to your fastball, you can go try to change their eye level, maybe an off speed.
And that swung on for strike three. Dicklow retires the first one. And is perfect so far. In the two-hole for Bishop Hendricken, the shortstop, Kevin Ventura III. You got three right-handed batters here to start it off for Bishop Hendricken. You definitely see the good approach right there, swinging at all three strikes. Just kind of looked like the ball was going through the bat. Dicklow with some good middle school velocity on that one. The first pitch to the plate, popped up. Iafridi calls it. He'll sit under it and make the second out of the inning. Dicklow in 4 pitches already has 2 outs. He'll have to face one of the hardest hitters on Bishop Hendricken, Eli Kapasapi.
Well, especially when you're playing a good team like this, you can only give them 3 outs an inning, because if you give Hendricken maybe 4 or 5 outs an inning, they're definitely going to take advantage. So lockdown defense for Johnson today is a key factor in this one.
Dicklow's first pitch, just a bit outside. We've only seen fastballs for him so far. He does like to work in a little bit of an off speed, definitely a fastball first kind of guy. The 1-0 pitch misses up and in, 2-0. High ball 3. Expected take here from the 3-hole hitter for Bishop Hendricken. Again, only fastballs we've seen here from the 8th grade ace. The 3-0 misses up and in. Kapaski gets on.
Well, definitely, got the first 2 easily down, but the 3-hitter walked them on 4.
Yeah, one thing about this Hendricken team, they like to run a lot. And, we see that in their middle school and high school program. Let's see what Dicklow can do to try to keep him honest over there at first. Goes right to the mound. And that's going to be ripped up the middle for a base hit. It'll be first and second here for Bishop Hendricken. First pitch. Fastball taken up the middle from Zablocki, the first baseman.
First hit today allowed by Dicklow. Got that 2-out walk. Now Hendricken set up runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Rakinski now with the runner in scoring position, trying to drive one in here for the Hawks. Dicklow to the plate. Low for ball 1. Schroer picks it. keeps the runner honest at second.
Yeah, run around second, almost got a little bit too jumpy, almost slipped there. Almost had to play at second.
Diclo looking to second, goes to the plate. Ground ball to the third baseman. It gets by Aruda into left field. Pulowski will shoot home. The play at the plate. No good. One hop Schroer. Rakinski will go on to second, and it's 1-0 Hawks. Second and third. Here from Liam Suave.
Well, that 2-out walk definitely haunted Jordan Diclo. Last three batters got on. Hendricken has an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you get a sixth grader over there at third base. Just got by the glove of Mason Aruda over there. Not a bad shoot right there from the left fielder. Owen Pulowski, one hop the plate, not in time. Suave looks into drive in another 2. Off speed, misses up, 1-0. Diclo, the 1-0. Inside, gets by him. Schroer races back, will not be in time. The Hawks go up 2-0. Zablocki scored there. And with 2 outs, the Jaguars, I should say, are in a bit of trouble. Umpire wipes off the plate. Diclo steps off, takes a second. Here's the 2-0. Low outside, gets by him. There will be a play at the plate. Diclo drops it, and it's 3-0 Hawks, just like that. After getting 2 outs in 4 pitches, it's been disastrous for the ace of Ferry.
Well, for Diclo right now, try to reset. Now no runners on base. Try to get out of this inning. Get the Jaguar offense started.
A lot of freedom for Diclo, a lot of freedom for Suave. He can go up there and hit more freely. That pitch is low outside, and another walk from Diclo. Now the 7th batter of the inning is Dylan Pierce, the right fielder. We've seen that aggressive Hawks approach so far, taking advantage of every Jaguar mistake. 2 pass balls, scoring 2 runs. A mishap play by the third baseman. Scored 1. And Mike Iafrate to go out to the mound to talk to his infield.
Well, yeah, Diclo was a little bit trouble right here. 4 straight batters have reached base. A little bit giving up 2 hits, 2 walks. So trying to calm down Diclo a little bit, trying to reset his mind, get the Jaguars back in the dugout.
Yeah, just 1 batter away from that. It looked very easy for him the first 2. Had trouble ever since. Wants to get to that top of the order with Iafrate, DeAngelis, and himself. Try to help himself out right there and make this 3-0 deficit a little more manageable for the Panthers. Schroer and Iafrate give their pitcher a tap on the back. Said, we got to keep going. Schroer back to behind the plate. And Pierce looks to keep this Hawks parade on here in the top of the first inning. Diclo throws back. The attempt is too late. Goes over again. That was more of a pickoff attempt, maybe not to get it out, but to keep him honest over there, especially with how the momentum is going for the Hawks. The first pitch to Pierce. In there for strike 1. Finally back into his groove. Feels like since that second out, it's either been a batted ball or a ball. Haven't seen many called strikes for Diclo in a few pitches. That one's up for ball 1. The 1-1 to Pierce. Low for ball 2. 2-1. Good count here for the Hawks right fielder.
This is what we not want to do. Fall behind, especially against Hendricken. See if Diclo can get a strike right here and avoid a hitter's count 3-1.
That one's up. Fastball 3-1. The attempt at first, just safe. Almost caught Suave lacking right there. But here we go, hitters count for Pierce. Expect him to be swinging, especially against the lefty, against the righty. The 3-1. Fouled off. 3-2, 2 outs. Expect Suave to be going on the release. Diclo needs his best pitch here, Ant.
Definitely get in the dugout right here. Try to avoid anything from happening. Avoid walking the batter right now.
The 3-2 lets it fly high. Hawks have another base runner, and on their 8th bat of the inning, here comes Gianfrancisco, the pitcher.
Third walk of the inning for Diclo. Like he's mentioned, the first 2 batters, Diclo could cruise by, but ever since then, it's been a little bit of a struggle to get to the zone.
First pitch of Gianfrancisco. Called strike. Check swing. No base umpire to appeal. Home plate umpire took authority there. And Diclo's up 0-1.
That's what you need to do. Get ahead.
Iafridi keeping the base runner on at second. Drop ball from Schroer was up anyway. 1-1. Hawks up 3-0. The 1-1 pitch to the plate. Bounced on. Ball 2. It's right in front of him. He doesn't see it. And the Hawks now have 2 runners in scoring position here with the right-hole pitcher in the right-handed batter's box. The 2-1 pitch missed low. Diclo now in a lot of trouble, needs to locate a strike here. Fastball fouled out of play, and it'll be full.
Well, Gianfrancisco definitely had a pitch to hit right there. 3-1, hitters count right down the middle. Just fouled it off to the right. Now another full count. We saw this is the last at bat.
Can Diclo win it? Fly ball, shallow center field. Calabro on the run and makes the play. Calabro saves 2 runs. Jaguars get out of a jam, but still down 3-0 as we go in the middle of the first inning. We'll be back after a quick break. Back here from the bottom of the first. Jaguars already down 3 after a tough inning. Diclow got the first 2 out in 4 pitches. And then the Hawks parade started. Got to all the way to the bottom of the order. But nonetheless, Jaguars have a long game to go. Leading off for them, number 5, the second baseman, Mike Iafrate. The first pitch from Gianfrancisco. Low for ball 1. Due up for fair this inning, Iafrate, DeAngelis, Diclow, and Calabro.
Here in the bottom of the first, now down 3-0. Just try to start chipping away.
The 1-0 bounces the plate. And Iafrate's up 2-0 to start early.
That's where it comes to play as a leadoff batter when you're down 3-0. Base runners matter right now.
2-0 to the plate. Slider in there for strike 1. 2-1 count here for Iafrate. Good approach. Hopes to see a fastball and knock one for a base hit. Fouls off the 2-1. Good swing. Looks like he got a little jumpy right there. 2 ahead of it. Seeing it well. But Gianfrancisco right here looks to retire the leadoff hitter for the Jaguars. The 2-2. Low for ball 3. Full count.
Well, good at bat here for the leadoff batter. So you most certainly want to do as a leadoff batter, work the count, try to get on base.
Can Iafrate win it? And he does. Jaguars get their leadoff hitter on. And here comes Mikey DeAngelis. See if the Panthers' good 1-2 punch to start it can go in their favor. Panthers want to get on this good bunt opportunity. Gianfrancisco to the plate. High ball 1. Catcher throws down to first, not in time. Iafrate slides in safe. Good shoot from Gonzalez, just a little late. The 1 over the plate swung on and missed for strike 1. We apologize if the mics are a little scuffed. We get the wind coming in the booth here. Gianfrancisco's 1-1 to the plate. Swung on, fouled, out of play to the right side. Hawks ahead 1-2 in the count. Diclow on deck, followed by Calabro. The 1-2. Just inside. 22, knotted at 2-2 here.
Maybe DeAngelis got away with that one. A great pitch.
Yeah, good off speed. Definitely could have been called strike 3. DeAngelis looking to stay alive. And it's called strike 3 on the outside. Corner. Backwards K for the 2-hole hitter for the Panthers. For the Jaguars. I apologize. I'm going to keep saying Panthers. Future Panther, Mikey DeAngelis.
Sorry, I said Panthers already in the game.
Here comes the 3-hole hitter. Jordan Diclow, the pitcher, trying to help himself out here. Iafrate staying close there at first with a good pickoff move that Gianfrancisco has. The first pitched. Check swing, called strike 1. He didn't like it. Small lead over there for Iafrate. Steps off. The 0-1 to the plate. Big swing and miss for strike 2. Gianfrancisco is up 0-2, and now he can work in his off speed. Try to get Diclow off balance here.
Well, Gianfrancisco does have a good off speed. We saw it lost at Baggins. Just could have been called a strike, but called the ball. But the next pitch punched him out.
The 0-2 to the plate. Off speed, hit into play, popped up. First baseman sits under and makes the play. Zablocki made it look easy over there. The Hawks have 2. Here comes the cleanup hitter for the Jaguars, Ryder Calabro. Trying to keep the bottom half of this first going for the Jaguars. First pitch to Calabro. Low outside for ball one.
Ryder's having a good year so far for my guy Freddie and the Jaguars. See if he can keep it up right here. His team down 3-0.
The 1-0. Swung on and miss. Way ahead of it there. Wasn't seeing that one well. Was going to be called strike anyway. The 1-1 to the plate. Big swinging miss for strike two. Gianfrancisco looks to retire the side here. Ever since that leadoff walk, he's been pretty dominant on the mound.
For Calabro here, 2 strikes, try to shorten up with 2 outs too.
2-strike pitch to the plate, no good. Iafredi takes off. The throw down from Gonzalez made it look easy. Calabro will bat again to start the bottom of the second inning as Gonzalez down to Suave. Made it look like he was in high school. And now retired at the end of the first inning. Hawks up 3-0. We'll take a quick break. Back here for the top of the second inning. Jaguars down 3. Diclo started the top of the first very well. And since then, it's been all downhill. The first pitch of the inning, up and in for ball one. We've seen that trend. Cannot locating everything high. Right, Ant?
Yeah, he's putting a little bit too much on, me as a pitcher, if you're struggling a little bit to find a zone, maybe take a little bit off of it. Then when you start getting in a groove, that's when you start adding some speed to it. So see if Diclo can settle in the top of the second inning.
Second pitch to Gonzalez is way in. Third pitch?
Yep.
Sorry. Third pitch to Gonzalez. Way in. My apologies there. Gonzalez ended the bottom half of the inning with a beautiful shoot down to second. And he starts it off with a 4-pitch walk. Diclo now locating well and all ready for the Hawks at the top of the order.
Certainly don't want to walk leadoff batter and the 9th batter of the Hendrickson lineup. So we'll see if Diclo struck out McConnell on 4 pitches in the first inning. Let's see if he can repeat because he definitely needs to get in the groove right now.
That one's low for ball one. The fastball is his main pitch. We've kind of seen him try that curveball. We haven't seen the changeup at all, but he's not really getting ahead where he can use it. Gonzalez goes. Schroer shoot. Not going to even shoot in time. Great jump right there from Gonzalez. And McConnell has a duck in the pond looking to drive him in. The 1-0 to the plate. That's in there for strike one on the outside, in the inside corner. 2-1. Diclo gets back and throws that second pitch very quickly. That one's grounded to Aruda on the right side. His shoot to first is in time. Herrera runs it into the pitcher. Jaguars get their first out of the inning via the sixth grader at third baseman, Mason Aruda. Makes that, routine. That's a routine play for a ninth grader, but for a sixth grader still playing on the Little League field, makes it look very, very natural for him. Again, big adjustment from the Little League field to the big field, but Aruda, from what I've heard from Iafredi, he's done a great job all season, especially that first time. Runner advanced to third, though. Curveball in there for strike one. Finally, that one looked beautiful from up here.
He definitely needed that confidence booster. Now he has, some trust in his off-speed pitch, so especially when the fastball wasn't working. Maybe he can go back to that. Might have been the first changeup from Diclo right there.
Yeah, finally can get in a little bit of a groove here as he needs it against Kevin Ventura. He popped up to Iafredi in his first at-bat. The 1-1 to the two-hole hitter. Pass ball is be a play at the plate. Oh!
Ooh.
Gonzalez slides right under the glove of Diclo. Iafredi runs out. He didn't like it. I couldn't tell from up here. It was a bang-bang play.
If it was a bang-bang play, but maybe he just got under the tag because it kind of was a high throw by Schroer.
Yeah, if it was a little lower, I think he could have got it down. But the key there for Diclo is to try to get that glove to the foot. The foot, on a leg first slide right there. Try to not wait for the runner to get there, but go get him. Just gets under the slide right there. Hawks are up 4-0. I don't know if Iafredi was running out to challenge. I think he was more trying to make sure Diclo was okay and kind of coach up Schroer as the umpire, the lone umpire today. Took a little bit of a break. Diclo, his pitch way high right there. Maybe a little bamboozled after that one. To the plate. Ooh, just misses right there, and I believe we're full here.
Even full with 3-1, I'm not pretty sure. But that was definitely a good curveball. Ventura was a little jumpy at it, especially on the 3-1 hitters count.
Diclo to the plate. Ooh, some chin music up and in. Misses the batter. Another base runner for the Hawks in the top of the second.
That's Diclo's 5th walk of the day.
Koposki now, as Diclo's pickoff attempt at first goes by Herrera, and already, just like that, the Hawks have a runner in scoring position. Jaguars can't afford that one right now.
Yeah, Diclo was a little flustered on the mound right there. Just kind of threw that one away. Now, like you mentioned, runner in scoring position for the Hawks.
Koposki takes ball one. You do get some good arms out there, especially in center field with Pulowski and Calabro. Maybe hit the cutoff man or go all the way to try to, gun down a runner on a play at the plate.
Pulaski's throwing the first inning actually was not bad throw, just a little bit late, but still some positives.
The 2-0 pitch to the plate is inside, and Diclo, again, is down 3-0. Trying to come back in the count against the 3-hole hitter for the Hawks. That one's up and in, called strike one.
See if Diclo can battle back. Now 3-0. Definitely needs an out right now.
His fastball working more than any other pitch. The pickoff attempt to second. He's going to hold it himself and keep Ventura honest. Kopaski, 3-1 count. He has the green light, and it's ripped up the middle. And by the glove of the sliding Calabro, that's going to be into center. And Kopaski's on the move. He's going to go 3. The cutoff throw to DeAngelis is no good, and he's going to have a stand-up triple. Calabro took a bit at it and centered, was no good. And the Hawks are up 5-0 with 1 out and a runner on third.
Well, if you're Calabro on that one, best to just try to keep that in front. But got under the glove. Tough break right there.
Yeah, again, I get the bid at the play. You know, as an outfielder myself, you kind of always want to be aggressive and go for that ball, but with the runner in scoring position, sometimes it's better off to keep it in front of you. Dick Lowe's pitch to Zablocki is in there for a called strike one in the outside corner. Trying to keep that runner at third. It's a pass ball. There'll be a play at the plate. Schroer gets under the tag, and it'll be 6-0 Hawks. The third run of the inning comes in. And just like that, this one's getting a little out of reach for the Jaguars.
Can't say any better. It's already 6-0. Dick Lowe not having his best day on the mound.
On his 8th grade night, just trying to get some production. That one's in there for strike 2. He'll be up in this one. The 2-1 pitch hits him in the box, foul. My apologies. Now will be a 2-2 count. Again, 3-7 record here for the Jaguars. At this point in the season, you kind of just want to see production out of these 8th graders. Kind of have them soak it in and fry free to move on to the next year. Ground ball to the shortstop, DeAngelis. He fields it, throws, and gets him at first from the stretching Herrera. What a play right there from the first baseman. There'll be 2 out in the inning.
Play right there by DeAngelis and a good scoop on the other end by Herrera.
Kyle Rakinski, now the left fielder, steps into the box. Dick Lowe, quick to the plate, misses high with the off-speed pitch. Rakinski up 1-0 early. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 1. Again, when he locates that fastball, it's either swung on and missed or batted. And, you know, when it's batted, you got to rely on your field to make the play. Changeup, low into the dirt. 2-1 count. Dick Lowe steps off. In the windup, the 2-1 to the plate. Batted, but foul. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. Dick Lowe trying to bull his neck and get the Jaguars to the dugout and get the bats rolling. The 2-2. Fouled off. Dick Lowe needed that one. Looked like maybe a changeup low.
Definitely not a bad 2-strike pitch, but
5-0 hitter Rakowski. Definitely a good bat up there. Can already see his confidence from there. The 2-2. High fastball. Rakinski lays off of it. Now it's going to be 3-2. 2 outs. Dick Lowe. Curveball gets him swinging. The Jaguars get out of this one. But not after the Hawks score another 3. They'll go up 6-0. We're in the middle of the second. We'll take another break. Back here for the bottom half of the second inning. Ryder Calabro will come up with a fresh count after Iafridi got caught stealing to end the bottom half of the first. The 4-hole hitter for the Panthers on his senior night, trying to rip a base hit, get the Panthers offense going. He takes strike one on the outside corner right there. Looked like the two-seam fastball from Gian Francisco.
Gian Francisco had a 1-2-3. Ran to got help from his catcher and partner, throwing out Mike Iafridi trying to steal second.
That one's ripped back up the middle. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, and he does not get there. Calabro runs out knee 6. And to start the inning again, the Jaguars have a base runner. Ventura came from the left side of the infield, cut off his second baseman, Suave, but just under the glove of Ventura. Now another 8th grader, Gavin Pulowski.
Might have been some confusion, too, because they looked like the pitcher was going to make an easy play. It was not really hard hit at all.
Pulowski fouls one off. He's got 2 nice gaps there between the shortstop and the third baseman and the second baseman and the first baseman. They are in double play depth right here. Calabro, decent speed there at first. Gian Francisco, the 0-1 to the mound. 0-1 to the plate, I apologize. Is in there for strike 2. Pulowski needs a foul one off here. Expects some off speed or a waste pitch here from the Hawks pitcher. And he sees that. In there for strike 3. Pulowski goes down on 3 with the backwards K. And coming up to the plate is the catcher, Drake Schroer.
That curveball from Gian Francisco has been working today. He's caught batters off balance, turning around.
Schroer, the catcher, of course, the brother of Panthers freshman, Jake Schroer. As he bloops one in the right field, just foul. Gian Francisco start up 0-1. Looks like Schroer and Dicklow may have had some communication troubles. A couple pass balls scoring some runs for the Hawks. Schroer, still a very solid catcher here for the Jaguars. Calls time. Take his time in the box.
And Mike Iafridi really loves Jake Schroer behind the plate. He just says he fits the position. You know, he has a good arm. You know, a couple pass balls that last inning, but maybe try to refresh.
Called strike 2 in the outside corner, and again, Gian Francisco goes up 0-2. He's done a great job at that today, and for any pitcher at any level, being up in the count early really lets you go to your full arsenal, pull out some pitches that you may not be able to throw when you're down 2-0 in the count. We'll see what he comes to here. Curveball in there, ball 1. Good take right there from the catcher.
That was almost like the pitch that rang up Pulaski. Tried to protect it with 2 strikes, a little bit better than that. Maybe could have gone either way.
The 1 to the plate. Just missed on the outside corner. It'll be 2-2. Schroer, major league take right there. Definitely tough to pass on a fastball with 2 strikes, but he just does that. Calabro, short lead at first. Gian Francisco won't worry about him. Go right to the plate. And that one's ripped in right for a base hit. They're going to try to get him out at first. The throw gets by. Calabro and Schroer will both stay there. And the Panthers have 2 runners on for the 6th grader third baseman, Mason Aruda.
Well, Jake Schroer, 2 strikes, takes it the other way. That's a perfect at-bat right there. Taking some good pitches, fighting some good pitches off. Hits it to Dylan Pierce in right field. Almost got him at first, too, but the scoop couldn't get him.
Yeah, it's kind of a play in the big field. That's an adjustment for some of these young players. I don't really see it at the high school level anymore. Guys are too fast and hit the ball too far to really play in like Pierce just did. But, definitely had a shot at first, just missed the throw. Catcher Gonzalez was back there to back it up. But a runner in scoring position here for the Panthers. Aruda pops one up. It's shallow into left field. But the left fielder tracks that one down where Kinski cut off his center fielder McConnell. And the Hawks have 2 outs here for Luciano Mangiacopra.
Was definitely, runner in scoring position, try to get that runner in from second. We saw, I didn't get to mention it because it was 1 pitch at bat, but third baseman was already playing in on the grass, expecting a bunt.
Mangiacopra, high fly ball in the right field. and Pierce will settle under it for the third out of the inning. Panthers had an opportunity there. 2 flyouts and 2 pitches for the Jaguars make the opportunity invalid. And going into the third inning, the Hawks still lead 6-0. We'll take a quick break. For the top of the third inning, Liam Suave leading it off for the Hawks. Dicklow skips the first pitch in for ball 1. Dicklow had his ups and downs in the first 2 innings. Hawks scoring 3 in both. Second pitch, try to go for the curveball, but that's a ball up and in. What do you have to say about the Jaguars' struggle so far?
Well, you know, Dicklow has definitely had his struggles for pitching and the hitting.
As DeAngelis whiffs one at shortstop, the Panthers needed that out. They don't get it. And Suave is on with an E6.
And I mentioned in the pregame, you know, when you're playing a team like Hendricken, you can't give them extra outs. And like DeAngelis got a little hop right there, a little friendly hop, but couldn't handle it. It's going to be an E6 for Suave.
Here comes Pierce. First pitch just outside for ball 1.
And it was like I was saying with the Panthers struggles, you know, they had some decent contact last inning, just popped it up, but at least they're starting to make contact at the bottom of the orders, making the contact, so maybe turn it over the top of the order. They got to see San Francisco for the first time.
Another pickoff attempt there from Dicklow. Just hit the glove of Emmanuel Herrera. If not, would have got by him.
You definitely don't want to put runners in scoring position, especially when you're down 6-0 here in the third inning.
Here's the 1-0 to Pierce. Popped up. And it'll be out of play. Got to imagine that pitch count for Dicklow is somewhere near probably 60 right now. Not where you want to be with your ace pitcher here in the third inning on 8th grade night. The 1-1 to the right fielder. I apologize. Throws over. Good move right there. Even tricked me. But Suave slides in safe. Diclo. Runner stealing. Schroer tries to throw him out on the one hop. Backed up by Iafrate. Runner is safe.
Well, actually, it wasn't a bad shoot from Schroer, just a little bit short. Took a couple hops and got to him, but last hop got away from DeAngelis last second.
Suave got another jump. Hawks have been getting good jumps everywhere, especially on third base on those pass balls, making it look easy. Diclo to the plate. Bounces the off speed. Diclo to Pierce. Bounces it again. Good stop from Schroer.
Again, Diclo and the struggles with the curve. Maybe try to go back to the fastball, try to take something off it as well.
Full count. Diclo. Fastball. In there for strike 3. Much needed out there from the Jaguars ace. Gets the 7-hole for the Hawks out. Now have to face the opposing pitcher, Enzo Gianfrancisco. Iafrate keeping Suave honest at second base. To the plate. Curveball. Hit to Iafrate. Routine play. Will get the out at first. Advance the runner to third. And Diclo will work with 2 outs here to the bottom of the order. Kevin Gonzalez. It's a good productive out right there from Diclo in 1 pitch.
Especially that now he has 2 outs, has a chance to get out of the inning. Strand the runner on third, hit the Hendrick in the first scoreless inning of the game.
Been very impressed with Gonzalez behind the plate. See if he can do it with his bat. That's a high fly ball into foul territory. Aruda on the run to make the play. Oh, and just misses the outstretched glove of the 6th grade third baseman. Would have been a highlight play for him. Good effort from him and Pulowski. Finds no man's land. But Diclo's up 0-1.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful attempt by especially a young 6th grader that's starting to get used to the big field. It's a great effort by him. If he just got there just a little bit sooner, definitely would have had it.
Diclo goes with the off-speed pitch, misses outside. Gonzalez didn't fall for it. And it's 1-1. Pitch to the plate and gets it. 12-6 action right there from the 8th grader. Drops in. Gonzalez ducked for it and in front of his eyes, dropped into the strike zone into Schroer's glove. Diclo up 1-2, trying to get out of this one with no runs. And that one's belted down the left field line, just foul. The whole Jaguars team catches a break right there. Diclo catches the biggest break. With Suave on third, he would have walked in.
Yeah, that ball was ripped down the line, just a little bit of a drift. Just drifts in the foul territory. See if Diclo can take advantage.
The 1-2 again. Inside curveball. Called ball 2. Room to work here for Diclo. Maybe one more off-speed pitch in the 2-2. We'll see if he goes to the fastball. He does. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Diclo, 2 strikeouts in this inning. Gets out of the jam. And for the first time, the Jaguars defense leaves an inning scoreless. Good job right there from them. It's the middle of the 3rd. Hawks still up 6-0. We'll take a quick break.
the catcher was.
We're back here in the bottom of the third inning. Substitution for the Hawks. Replacing Kyle Gonzalez at catcher is number 50, Will Hadfield. Everyone else will stay in for this Hawks offense, but with that lead, expect a few more substitutions to come. In the top half of that third, Jaguars finally got a scoreless inning. Diclow had 2 strikeouts. The other out came from Iafrady at second base, a nice 4-3 to get the batter out. First pitch to Emmanuel Herrera is in there for strike 1. Due up this inning is Herrera. And then to the top of the order, Iafrady and DeAngelis. Second pitch to him is just outside. It'll be 1-1. Herrera also celebrating his 8th grade night. Good pitch from Gianfrancisco, who'll be up 1-2 on the 8th grade first baseman. The payoff pitch to the plate. Ooh, good job by Herrera holding off right there. Looked like a slider or a curveball low in the dirt, blocked by Will Hadfield. You know, we saw Kevin Gonzalez have a great game behind the plate. We'll sit down for have a break as Herrera fouls off the 2-2.
I think the middle school rules, I think you were able to sub back into the game, but we'll see if maybe it'll probably just be Hadfield for the rest of the game.
The Hawks feeling comfortable with that 6-run lead. Can never be too comfortable in any sport. As the 2-2 is foul tipped into Hadfield's mitt. Gianfrancisco gets the strikeout to start the inning, and now he'll have to face the top of the order. Iafrady will step into the box.
Third K for Gianfrancisco today. He's only allowed 1 hit. Has not walked anybody. Oh, he's walked. Actually, it was Iafrady he walked. So he's allowed 2 base runners today. And then the error by the second baseman. But 1 hit and 1 walk. Not a bad day for Gianfrancisco so far here in the third.
The first pitch to Iafrady taken for ball 1. We saw his great eye in the first at bat. You know, of course, the son of Jaguars head coach and manager Mike Iafrady. The 2-0 fastball up and in, ball 2. You know, I think Iafrady's height definitely makes it tougher because, you know, Herrera and then DeAngelis behind him probably have 2 or 3 inches taller. But the 2-0 is in there on the outside corner for strike 1. He's really been locating that outside fastball well all day.
Definitely, and the umpire has given him a couple calls. You know, it's not like MLB. You're going to give him exactly right on the plate. You're going to give him a little bit off.
Iafrady fouls that 2-1 pitch right over our heads. And now the 2 will battle.
Iafrady, a good contact hitter. See if he try to fight off a good up at bat.
Gianfrancisco to the plate. Iafrady slow roll to the shortstop. Ventura running play makes it look easy. 2 away here for the Hawks.
What a play there by the shortstop. Not an easy play. Might have made it look easy, but shortstop coming in, getting the ground ball, and then having to fire immediately with the speedy Iafrady. Gets him out, and that's the second one. So Gianfrancisco looking for a 1-2-3 inning.
He'll have to face Mike DeAngelis. The first pitch to him. Another slow roller. Gianfrancisco ran under his glove, but he'll recover. Throw over to first. And retire the side. 1-2-3. Jaguars can't get any runs on the board. And after 3, it's still a 6-run lead for the Hawks. We'll be back after another short break. Back here at Engineers Field for the top half of the 4th inning. Hawks will have the top of the order coming up. Seamus McConnell, Kevin Ventura, and Eli Kaposki due up for Bishop Hendricken. The first pitch from Diclo. Fastball up and in, called ball 1.
You know, we've seen the outside pitch called decent amount today. I've not really seen any inside corner pitches called.
Slow curveball waited on by McConnell and ripped into center field for a single. That was probably the slowest pitch we've seen all day. Diclo tried to catch him off guard, but it didn't fool the leadoff hitter as he hits it to his position in center field. And Kevin Ventura will have one on with no one out in a 6-run lead. His first pitch is fouled away for strike 1.
But going back to McConnell, that's a beautiful piece of hitting. You know, he was there 0 for 2 to start the day, and then right there, he waited on the curveball easily and lines into center field. Great piece of hitting to lead off the inning and pass the baton to Ventura.
The 0-1 to the Hawks shortstop. Bounce in the dirt. McConnell will take advantage of that, and already with nobody out, the Hawks have a runner in scoring position.
Ventura 0 for 1 today. Had a pop up to the third baseman and also walked and scored a run.
Ventura rips one, but way foul. Diclo up 1-2 in this count. Will be a big out right here on the speedy shortstop. Payoff pitch. Gets him swinging. Schroeder's going to throw over to first. I don't know if he needed to. But nonetheless, Diclo retires one with the off-speed pitch. There's one away here for Eli Kaposki. And what did he do in his last at-bat?
Yeah, hit the base-clearing triple.
Yeah, it was a rip into center field. Probably could have been contained to a single. Diving Ryder Calabro in center field, made a good bid at it, but hit some green out there and rolled. Luciano Mangiacappa had to pick him up. By the time he did that, it was a stand-up triple for the Hawks' third baseman. See if he can do it again, or in any way possible, put something in play here and try to score his teammate McConnell. First pitch, slider away. Schroeder will have no bid at third base, and Seamus McConnell standing on third base gives Kaposki a lot of opportunity to try to drive him in. Either a fly ball or ground ball to the middle infield will score him. The 1-0 is inside. Almost hit him in the elbow. Gets away from it. 2-0. Diclo been a little frazzled today. The throw over to Ruda. Not in time. McConnell dives back in. Good bid from the Jaguars ace.
And not too often you see pickoffs at third base.
Yeah, but not only do they do it, Aruda's standing there like a first baseman. As the 2-0 pitch is spiked into the ground, stopped by Schroeder, will be 3-0. And Diclo will need to come back here to have any chance at Kaposki. 3-0 to the plate. High, ball forward. It'll be first and third. Panthers going to have to call up their situation here.
Second walk of the day for Diclo, and head coach Mike Iafredi will head to the mound.
I wonder if this will be it for the 8th grade ace for the Jaguars. Had a rough day against a very, very strong Hawks lineup. And it looks like
it's going to be Ryder Calabro.
Yeah, it will be Ryder Calabro. And they're going to make some moves here. It looks like Iafredi will go to center. Calabro will come to the mound from center. Diclo will go to short. And DeAngelis will move over to second. You know, despite the scoreboard, I think Diclo has held his own against this lineup today, Ant.
You know, it was a tough task. You know, I had to face Hendricken. He did have 5 strikeouts on the day. He had 2 errors he had to deal with from his Jaguar defense. But overall, you know, tough task against Hendricken. Has runners on the corners. Has 1 out. Calabro will try to go in. Try to limit it.
Calabro, I think, has been the backup option, or the number 2, you could say, for the Panthers, for the Jaguars this year. My apologies there. I think I've said it many times, but they don't play that many games, only 12 games in a season in the middle school season. So Dick Lowe sees most of the starts with how, the starts are timed out versus in high school where we play 20 games or 22 games. And those, starts are more spread out. You might have a 3-pitcher rotation. But maybe this will make it hard for the Hawks right here. They have a lefty, Drew Zablocki, coming up. He's going to have to see the lefty for the first time today. Calabro will definitely have the advantage there, lefty-lefty. But he has to execute here. Runner in first and third, tough situation to come into.
No, and when you come in for relief, especially with runners on, it's definitely a tough task. Try to get ahead early, try to get some ground balls. There's 1 out too, so try to get a double play ball.
I'm sure Bishop Henchkin will try to nullify that double play opportunity. They'll probably steal Kaposki on that first pitch, first and third opportunity. Pretty much an automatic steal, especially at the middle school level. And then Schroer's going to have to figure out if he's going to shoot him at, 3, if they're going to do a cutoff play, go right back to the mound, shoot him at third. There's a lot of opportunities that middle school and high school teams have to figure out in first and third opportunities, and that's just due to skill. At the college and professional level, you don't really see first and third plays come into effect as much because catchers and middle infielders have the arms where you don't want to run on them anywhere. But Schroer walks back to behind the plate. Iafredi goes back to the dugout, and Calabro will work against the blocky.
Zablocki 1 for 2 today. Had a first inning single, scored a run on the wild pitch, and then grounded out to short.
That one's grounded to DeAngelis. He'll look 2, doesn't get it, goes 1. Panthers have 2 outs, but McConnell scores to make this one 7-0 Hawks. Zablocki does his job on the fielder's choice, scores the RBI, sacrificing for the team, puts his team up by 7.
Well, Calabro did get the double play. Ground ball he wanted, just a little bit too much of a slow roll to get anything. Zablocki will be suited with the RBI ground out.
As the first pitch to Rakinski goes by Schroer, and Zablocki's now standing on third base. The double play ball is hard at the high school level. I can even imagine it's harder at the middle school level. Guys aren't hitting the ball as hard, and the arm strength isn't as great, so the timing's off. Speed's there. As that one's ripped into left field for a base hit, another run will score for the Hawks. Rakinski does it. He's going to try to go 2. The missed botched throw on the relay gets him to second. A single, the advancement of an error, makes this one an 8-0 ball game. And Liam Suave will have another run in scoring position.
Well, that's just Hendricken taking advantage of the bad Jaguar defense. Single to left field, mishandled by Pulaski.
Calabro's 2 outs to work with here. Schroer blocks the first pitch, keeps Rakinski honest at second base. That was a great rip into left field. Caught barrel right there and did the job.
Yep, and 2 outs, and Calabro left it right down the middle of the plate. Wierenski definitely did not miss it.
Calabro to the plate. Misses low for ball 2. Seen some different, definitely some good location here from Calabro, especially coming on with runners in scoring position. Not the easiest opportunity. I'm sure he'll come to the next inning, a little more comfortable as he can, start the inning, have a little bit more command. As the 2-0 pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Suave, the second baseman, trying to get another hit, and he does, puts one up the middle. Iafredi charges at it. There'll be no attempt at the plate. It gets by him. Suave going to go to second base. The throw is off, and he'll slide in with the single. Another error advances him to second base in his 9-0 Hawks. This one's falling away quickly as the Hawks have their third 3-run inning in only 4.
Well, another bad defense by the outfield right there. Got by, or didn't get by. Freddie missed the ground ball. Suave easily advances to second on the E8.
9-0. Hawks trying to get to that lucky number 10 here in this level where in the 5th inning, if both teams have hit and it's still a 10-run lead, the 10-run rule, mercy rule, comes into effect. Pierce at the plate. Lines another one into center field. Iafredi will feel that the runner's going to be sent home. There'll be no play at the plate. Herrera gets the cutoff, goes by him into the glove of Calabro. And it is 10-0 Hawks. A hitting parade here off Calabro. And there's not much the Jaguars can do here.
Oh, another solid hit right there. Maybe kind of off the end of the bat a little bit. But nonetheless, it gets by Dicklow. And the Hawks have reached double digits here in the 4th inning.
Enzo Gianfrancisco still on the mound here. Schroer tries to keep him honest at first. Herrera blocks it. I believe that one was a strike.
I believe it was too.
Calabro. The 0-1. Looks like a pitch out here. Or, no, kind of tricked me up there. Iafredi into the gap. Can't get there. Mangia Capra backs it up. Hits Herrera, the cutoff man. Gets it to Dicklow. No runs will score. But that's a double for the pitcher, Gianfrancisco. Iafredi did all he could just outside the outstretched glove of him. And now batting in replacement of Kevin Gonzalez is the catcher, Will Hadfield.
Calabro's kind of loses control. It's kind of giving it right down the middle to these Hendricken batters, and they definitely will take advantage.
Definitely needs that first pitch strike. As that one's lifted, high fly, pop up. Dicklow will sit under it and retire the side. But the Hawks have their biggest inning of the day. They score 4 runs, then go up 10-0. The Jaguars will need a bid to keep this one alive. And after 3.5, it is 10-0 Hawks. We'll take a quick break. Back here for the bottom Half of the fourth inning, Jordan Dicklow to lead it off. Gianfrancisco still shoving here for the Hawks. The first pitch, low for ball one. This one probably for sure out of reach here for the Jaguars. Substitution in right field for the Hawks. Brody Cook replaces Dylan Pierce. Dicklow fouled off that second pitch to him. It'll be 1-1. Dicklow trying to have some fun on his 8th grade night despite the score. That one's inside for ball 2.
He's definitely had a tough time on the mound today. Maybe some hitting will try to give him his confidence back. He popped up to first in the first inning.
That's a low fastball outside, 3-1. He wants a pitch to swing at here. No will for a walk when you're down by 10. The 3-1 to the 3-hole hitter for the Jaguars. Outside for ball 4. Jaguars have their leadoff hitter on. And maybe they can drive one in this inning. Cleanup hitter coming up, who's also now the pitcher, Ryder Calabro.
Like I mentioned, Dicklow had a tough time on the mound today. Didn't get any pitches to hit in that at bat. Let's see if Ryder can try to keep the inning, try to stay consistent, try to get some base runners.
Big lead over there for Dicklow. He's safe, though. Probably the biggest lead I've seen from anybody all day. Definitely a lot of confidence. But he also has the size to slide back in the wingspan to get back to the bag. Calabro trying to put something in the gap here. Scored Dicklow from first. He'll take off. Hadfield's throw down is no good. The Jaguars, with no outs, have a runner in scoring position here for their cleanup hitter. This is where his job comes in, Ant.
Definitely not a bad throw right there by Hadfield. Just couldn't handle it at second base. And Dicklow, no outs, runner in scoring position like you mentioned. It's a chance for the Panthers to get their first run of the board.
Calabro, the 1-0. Puts one. Ventura in the hole. Gets him out on the backhand. What a play right there from Ventura. Iafredi runs down the line, tells him the foot came off the bag. But that's a tough view for the umpire. With only one and no base umpire, Iafredi not happy at all with that one. Calabro is retired. Dicklow could not advance on the throw as Ventura did a good job at keeping him honest. One out here for Gavin Pulowski, the left fielder.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Ventura right there. From the hole as well. The young shortstop for Hendricken. Definitely has a bright future.
Pulowski puts one on the right side. That'll advance Dicklow. Easy play to second by the second baseman, Suave. Dicklow to third. And the catcher, Jake Schroer, who must be getting his equipment off, will come up with 2 outs. We'll try to knock one in here, get this goose egg off the scoreboard. Dugout, letting them hear it. Good to see the energy despite the big deficit. First pitch, low for ball 1. Hadfield showing a lot of presence back there, but a pass ball would be nice for the Jaguars.
Yeah, definitely. It feel good to get that first run across the board, avoid being down by 10 going into the 5th inning, because like you mentioned, if both teams bat after the 5th inning, it's still a 10-run ball game. Game will be called for a mercy rule. So let's see if Ferry can try to keep this going.
The 1-0 pitch to Schroer. Swung on a miss, late swing right there. Good cut, couldn't connect. It'll be 1-1. 1-1 to the Jaguars catcher. Swung on and missed again. San Francisco up 1-2 in the count. Jaguars trying to keep this game alive in the bottom of the fourth. It is after 5, though, where the 10-run rule will come into effect. The 1-2 pitch to Schroer. Swung on, slow roller. Ventura plays it. Can he make the throw? He does. What a cannon right there from Kevin Ventura. Saves a run. Dicklow's crossing the plate will not count. And after 4 complete, the Hawks are still up 10-0. Iafrate still not happy with the umpire. We'll take a quick break. Back here for the top of the 5th inning. Sorry, we're just getting the substitution from Coach Iafrate, but the Hawks batted through in the top half of the 4th. They scored 4 runs. Seamus McConnell lead it off here for the Hawks and takes ball 1 from Ryder Calabro. Calabro's first inning where he can truly kind of groove and have some command came in last inning and kind of did get shelled by the bottom half of that Hawks lineup. Calabro looking to improve, though, the left-handed pitcher to the plate. Inside for ball 2. Kind of saw a little bit of an argument right there between Iafrate and the umpire to end the bottom half of the 4th inning. Definitely some emotions there, and maybe that has to do with the Jaguars' 10-run deficit, but nonetheless tough with only one umpire, no base umpire. It's really no one's fault there.
Yeah, it's just like you mentioned, the score right now, it's definitely tough.
Calabro already down 3-0 on the count. It'll walk McConnell. Leadoff hitter on here comes Ventura, the shortstop, who's made some phenomenal plays for the Hawks.
Yeah, he's definitely one of their standout players. The shortstop we saw last 2 innings. He made that in the hole play right there, and then the end of the inning, he made that strong throw over the first.
As Schroer shoots down to first, McConnell was looking down, and that's an embarrassing out for the Hawks. Heads up from Schroer, and when I tell you McConnell was walking back, I don't know if you guys could see that, but, it was a lazy walk back. Calabro gets some help from his catcher. But Ventura gets right back on base. Rips one to center field. And there'll be one on with one out. Wow, Ant, did you see that?
Yeah, I was just about to say because you were making the call, but he was a little bit too involved with his sliding mitt, trying to adjust it. And Jake Schroeder noticed it, made the throw over to first perfectly. It was, like you said, it was a lazy walk back.
Coach at first base was kind of giving him a shrug like, that's not even a coaching point there. That's more just a common sense thing. But one of those, you kind of get caught sleeping, especially up by 10. And, you know how baseball coaches are. The Hawks might win this game 10-0, and that's all they're going to talk about at practice is that play right there.
Yeah, no, because, even though it's a 10-0 game, what if that happens, when you're in a one-run game and that's the winning run on first base and you get picked off like that?
In the playoffs.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I agree with that kind of, I agree with that kind of coaching. If you trust yourself enough as a coach, the result should be the expectation and stuff like that, needs to be coached. And you can't just stop coaching even with, the team that Hendricken has, all the different sports. That's another rip into right field. That'll find the gap. Mangia Copper is going to get it in, but they're going to send that runner to the plate. Will there be a play? There will. Herrera's throw gets by Schroeder. Kaposki at third base, the second time he's been at third today, this time with a double and the advancement on the throw. But with one out, it's 11-0 Hawks.
Well, Kaposki has definitely had a great day. He had that triple back in the second inning. He's walked twice, and he got a double, got the third on the throw. 11-0 ball game.
Not even a bad pitch from Calabro, just clobbered on. Ground ball to the right side. DeAngelis makes it look easy. But Zablocki drives in another run. It'll be 12-0 Hawks. The cleanup hitter and first baseman for the Hawks does his job, puts one on the ground. And it's really starting to get out of reach here for the Jaguars if it wasn't already.
This top of the order for Hendricken, they've definitely done some damage today.
Calabro's first pitch, low and outside for ball one. Rakinski up 1-0 in the count. The left fielder hasn't had much action today out in the field. This Calabro's 1-0 pitch was called strike one in the outside corner. Calabro to the plate. Spikes one inside, almost caught the foot of Rakinski.
Rakinski, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and a K.
Calabro, the 2-1 to the plate. Way outside for ball 3. He's going to need to come back here, or there'll be another Jaguar walk today. The 3-1. Belted into left field for a single. Another hit for this Hawks offense. They make it look easy. And they have another base runner on, making it even harder for Calabro to get out of this one.
3 for 4 on the day for Wersinski, his third single of the day and that strikeout. But what a day for him. Productive day. 2 RBIs, like I mentioned. Passes the baton to Suave.
Suave in his 4th at-bat of the game. Trying to keep this hit parade going. Calabro to the plate. Swung on and missed on a high inside. Might have been an off-speed pitch right there. Looked like it had some movement to it. He's going to throw over to first. Keep him honest over there. No chance at an out right there. But with Howard Skinski and his team ran the bases today, there's nothing wrong with that kind of move. The 0-1 to Suave. Belted foul, will be 0-2. Calabro trying to work in some off-speed action here, get out of it, and to give his 8th graders on 8th grade night one more opportunity to try to drive in a run.
Going from the windup, he has to step off. Reverse going to take off.
He doesn't go. Misses on an off-speed pitch high. Jaguars catch a break right there. Coach is kind of mad at him there, with a little smile on his face, though. When you're up 12, it's okay.
Seen 2 base running mistakes from Hendrick and Sim, but like you said, when you're up 12-0 doesn't mean anything, but it's something they're going to talk about in practice. The base running in this inning, that one McConnell, he was walking back, fixing with his sliding mitt, wasn't paying attention. He got out, and then right there, the windup.
Calabro the play on the 1-2, misses outside. The payoff pitch to Suave. Just misses up and out. 3-2, 2 outs. Expect Rakinski to be moving here on the release. Calabro's up 0-2, and now he's throwing 3 straight balls. Wants to put one for Suave to at least hit. Runner goes. That one's belted into left field, and that's going to find the gap. Pulowski running backwards. Rakinski rounds third. He'll stand and score. It's going to be 13-0 Hawks. The 3-2 pitch was belted by Suave. In another running and scoring position here, up 13-0. I afraid he will come out to the mound to talk to his 8th grade pitcher.
Well, that ball was ripped, left it right down the middle to Suave. He did not miss it, put it in the gap and rolled all the way to the fence. And it looks like I afraid he's going to take the ball and give it to Emmanuel Herrera.
3rd pitch of the day coming in here for the Jaguars. Opposed Hendricken has only had 1 with Jan Francisco. But while he warms up, we'll take a quick break. We apologize for that. Talking to Coach Iafredi again. As Brody Cook in his first at-bat, lines one, but a sliding play from Owen Pulowski makes that a quick one pitch from Emmanuel Herrera. We didn't get to talk about that. So Herrera comes into pitch. Diclo moved to first. Iafredi back to second. DeAngelis to short. Calabro went back to center. And in Brody Cook's first at-bat, pieces one down the left field line. Pulowski makes a great diving play. Panthers need at least 4 right here. Sorry, the Jaguars need at least 4 right here to keep this one going. But if not, the 10-run rule will come into effect. Again, we'll take another break. Back here from the bottom half of the 5th, Jaguars need 4 to keep this one alive. Pinch hitter coming up here for the Jaguars. It's Noel Coscat, I should say. Also pitching now after Gianfrancisco is Vino Santilli, number 2, a left-handed pitcher. He's throwing pretty well in warm-ups. But here's Coscat. Off the bench, seeing a left-handed pitcher. It's in there for strike 1. Due up for the Panthers is Coscat batting. Luciano Mangiacopra and Emmanuel Herrera, the bottom 3 in the order for the Jaguars. Second pitch from Coscat is fouled. Lands in play, but right into that corner. Impossible play right there for Hatfield. And Santilli is up 0-2.
Coscat also another 8th grader celebrating his ceremony tonight.
The 0-2 pitch. Santilli looking to retire him early. Fouls one off. Keeps it alive. Good 2-strike approach right here from the 8th grader.
Yeah, fighting off on outside. Fastball is going to be called a strike. Umpire out of baseballs.
You know, we don't have ball boys like the MLB does. We have this issue in high school, too. Sometimes trying to keep baseballs in play, the umpire obviously has, you know, better things to worry about. But they get a ball into Santilli, and he's still up 0-2, looking to retire Santilli. Sorry, Santilli looking to retire Coscat. My apologies right there. The 0-2 fouled off again. Good approach right here from the short Jaguar slugger.
Gonna retire himself at the plate. He's pitching to himself. Santilli gonna retire
Yeah,
Santilli.
my apologies, folks. Again, the 0-2 from Santilli to Koskett. Misses ball one. Good eye right there. Even down 13, Jaguars still with the approach they've had all game. The 1-2. Hit into foul territory. Third baseman will sit under that to make the first out of the inning. That's Kaposki. I've said his name many times today. He makes the first out of the inning. The Hawks need 2 more for the win, and they'll be seeing Luciano Mangiacopra with Herrera on deck.
Again, one of the other 8th graders celebrating their 8th grade now. See if he can get a hit. Panthers, made the same mistake as you. Both said it today, but only 1 hit for the Jaguars today. It was by Jake Schroer back in the 2nd inning.
Mangiacopra looks at strike 1. Fastball down the middle. The 0-1. In there for strike 2. Santilli wasted no time with that one. He'll get right back to the mound. Starts his windup within 5 seconds. Very efficient. Mangiacopra puts it up the middle. And it's into center field for an infield single. Not an infield single. It got through the infield. And on 8th grade night in his last at-bat in Johnston, Mangiacopra gets a base hit.
Well, he must feel good about that 2nd hit for the Jaguars today. Definitely feels good about that one, especially on 8th grade night.
Now Emmanuel Herrera, another 8th grader. The 0-0. Hit high. Kapowski will retire the 2nd one of the inning in foul territory. Santilli doing a great job at forcing those batters to pop up. Jaguars will get to the top of the order with Michael Iafredi.
Last chance for the Jaguars here, looking to avoid the mercy rule, try to get maybe a run across the board. Hard to do with run around first, 2 outs, top of the order.
Iafredi to see Santilli for the first time today. He throws over, and that might be the ball game, folks. Mangiacopra got caught sleeping over there. They got him in a rundown. Stays in the baseline. Santilli will chase him back down, get him with the glove, and this ball game is over just like that. The Hawks win 13-0. And on 8th grade night, they upset. Ooh, and some words are being exchanged from the Jaguars to the Hawks, and helmet being thrown from Mangiacopra. Not the pleasant ending we wanted to the blowout win for the Hawks, but the lineup for the handshake line. Ant, what did you see in this one?
Well, it was a tough game against Hendricken. It was a tough task for the Jaguars. They gave it their all. Just Hendricken's hitting. Too good, outmatched the Jaguars. But that'll be the ball game. But good win for Hendricken. They showed that they are really a top team with their great hitting. Jaguars got 2 hits on the day. Not the greatest day for pitching.
Whoa. Some words being exchanged in the handshake lines. Definitely going to have to break it up. Get those teams back to the dugouts. But nonetheless, that's our 8th grade night. All of us here at JHS Media are happy to present this one for our 8th graders. We won't be streaming the next game, but our the Panthers varsity team's JV team will be playing in at 6:30 on the same field. But that's all we have today. Jaguars, I should say. Keep making that mistake. Drop 1 13-0 against Bishop Hendricken. Ant, any last words?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for the 8th grade stream. Really appreciate it. Doing it for the middle schoolers. Great accomplishment on getting by middle school and getting on to the high school level wherever they go. And that's all I really got.
That's all I have as well. I'm Matt Clements, your play-by-play announcer, alongside my partner, Anthony Vendetti, our color announcer. Our stream director, Joseph Lopez Tavares, and our cameraman, Timothy Zoidara. the absence of Tyler Holton today was backed up. We did a good job. But that's all we have for today. We'll see you in our next stream tomorrow night. Varsity baseball against Burrville at 5:15.